We take you to Nur-Sultan, Kazakhstan. John Millman yesterday beat Tommy Paul despite having to save a number of match points in the second and going down 5-love in the third set tiebreak. Today he's got another young American. It's Frances Tiafoe. And Kamau, Foe had his opportunities early in this match.
Yeah, he played solid. He was up for a set in 3 quarters. He was just the better player. And, you think there's no shot clock in tennis, but he just ran out of time. He couldn't get out of that second set quick enough. The story of the match, if you look at first set, he served 67%. In the second and third, he only served about 55%. And that equals longer rallies, and that favors John Millman. A little bit more disciplined, a little bit more steady from the baseline. And, Frances just couldn't get out of there quick enough.
And to your point, Kamau, 81% of first serve points won by Frances Tiafoe, but in the end, it was John Millman who grinds out a 3-set victory, 3-6, 6-4, 6-4, 2 hours and 6 minutes, and he takes himself into the final. Who will he go up against is the real question. I know you like this name, Paul. Emil Ruusuvuori against Adrian Mannarino.
Well done, Noah. That's very impressive pronunciation, but he needed more than that today. Adrian Mannarino has played great tennis all week. He's hitting the ball flat through the court like he always does. He's such a cagey lefty, makes it really awkward to get any rhythm. Ruusuvuori had a very good first set, lost 7-5. Mannarino stretched it out in the second, got more offensive, using a little lefty slider serve to close it out. Nice exclamation point for Mannarino. Some really good stuff this week.
Mannarino gets through. He will be in the final in the 3-4 matchup over in Kazakhstan, the Astana Open. Mannarino versus Millman, that's right here on Tennis Channel. But I want to go back to Frances Tiafoe and talk about the young American because 22 years old, it's crazy that he is that young because it feels like he's been around now for a long time. He's going to get up to 60th with a couple of wins that he had over in Kazakhstan this week. He won a challenger just a few weeks ago over in Porma. But the question with him, Kamau, is somebody who's been inside the top 30 in his young career, has shown the flashes of brilliance. How can he take that next step in his career where he's consistently competing towards the top of the rankings?
I think he got to take a lot of positives from this. This was a good run in this tournament, and he's still probably 2 levels away from where he needs to be. So the first step is just developing more discipline, right? Hitting the right shots at the right time, maybe leaving some of the flash behind. And I think that'll put him in a position to maybe learn how to finish. Paul, as you know, finishing is a skill. And you only develop that skill through experience. And so if he's able to be in a position to win more matches through being more disciplined, he'll be able to get some more practice finishing more matches. And I think that is what he's going to need to do to take it to the next level.
I think that's so smart, and it's exactly spot on. I think one of the things that's happened is Frances had a big splash a few years ago, and he never really got reacclimated to that new environment. And that's an adjustment. The expectations come when you have to get settled in. So now as he gets back there, he's going to be more comfortable. I mean, you had to deal with this with Sloane, right? She wins the U.S. Open. The environment changes, right? So the expectations change. What's like the key thing to say to them to get those expectations in the back of your mind and in the tennis in the front?
I think everyone in their life has to find an altitude they're comfortable with. And sometimes, we get so excited about a player and we push them out there and they're like, whoa, I didn't ask for all this, right? And so they kind of shy away and get a little bit fearful. And so I think that Frances Tiafoe, went through a little bit of what other Americans have gone through, and we got so excited, pushed them forward before they were perhaps ready. And he backed down to an altitude where he was a little bit more comfortable, could ease out and hide a little bit. And now I think he's ready to take that next step and move back forward and take the American flag.
Yeah, and we're still excited to see what Frances Tiafoe does in the future. Another good run to the semifinals in Kazakhstan this week. His year's not quite necessarily over, but Foe, the sky's the limit for all the talent that he brings at 22 years old, as mentioned. We'll get up to 60th in the rankings next week as we move over to the social net, one of our favorite segments.
This is my favorite segment.
It is,
you
right?
know that.
And it's a Halloween edition.
Social media.
Now, before we do get to some more of the fun stuff, this is some serious news to get to. Yes, Simona Halep tweeting that she has tested positive for COVID-19. We're sending our well wishes to Simona to get better quickly, but this is, I would say, glad to see that she's going public with it and not shying away from actually announcing it, Paul.
Yeah, it's great, just mild symptoms. Let's hope that stays that way for Simona. She says she's isolating, which is good news. Look, we all have to take this seriously. The worst thing about this virus, is it varies so much how it affects every single person. So remember, gang, it's we, not me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Simona, once again, we are wishing you well and hope that it is a speedy recovery. Some more sad news to get to. Sean Connery, the legend, 90 years old, has passed away earlier today. And this coming from Harold Bryant. Says, shout out to a big tennis fan come out in Sean Connery. Look at that U.S. Open hat. And the throwback.
Yeah, you know, Paul, I got a challenge for you. What's your favorite Sean Connery movie? Mine is The Rock.
Oh, I'm so used to him as 007 back in the day. He was kind of, he was the man back then, but The Rock, he was awesome in that.
Yeah, I feel like 007 is what everybody remembers him as, but yes, those are two great options. I'm going to stick with 007 just because that's his signature role. And
how about Untouchables?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was. No, he's had a ridiculous career, and 90 years old, a full life, and just remembering another tennis fan legend, Sean Connery, as he passes. Let's go to some Halloween fun, some flashbacks here. Andre Agassi, Steffi Graf. Paul, I know you like this one. Hulk Hogan. That's a good costume.
That is a great look by two all-time legends right there. I got to give them both kudos for that. That is too much. Is that Scooby-Doo as well?
It sure is. It sure is. Kamau, you a Scooby-Doo guy?
Not so much. That's scary, though.
All right, we'll go to the year before, 2015. This is Cyndi Lauper, Donald Trump. Yes, girls just want to have fun, you know?
Look at Andre's face. That's too good.
That's pretty good.
I'll tell you what, 2 amazing years of outfits from these two.
Well, we got one more. We're going to go back to 2014. Jeez. Pippi Longstocking and Austin Powers. Now, come out, you've got to like Austin Powers,
I
right?
love that. That's Vegas having too much of an effect. They're spending too much time on the strip there with the costume designers.
Okay.
I love it.
All right, so those are top-notch. I think this one was incredibly top-notch. We're going to go back to 2012. Novak Djokovic walking on at the Paris Masters wearing a Darth Vader mask. Now, listen to this. This was against Sam Querrey. Djokovic used the force, so to speak, taking the first set 6-love. But the Republic wins that day because Sam Querrey would win it in 3 sets.
Okay, but it's amazing, for him wearing that mask. He played really well during that match wearing that mask. I've never seen him.
Yeah, you're right. He breathed very well through that mask.
Job.
I don't know if it was any sort of extra push.
Yeah. Well, this year he'll be wearing the gladiator mask because he has suffered through a long year and got to #1 in the world.
There you go. Yeah, he's earned it.
Are you not entertained on TC Live? We've got more Halloween fun coming up next. Make sure you stay